All right, boom. Woo. Um. Yeah. So, boys, fuck it. We can't. Like, I thought I was gonna be able to upload some videos. I took a bunch of videos, a bunch of cool ideas I got, and fuck it. This internet is trash. All right. Like I don't know what to tell you. Man. This internet's trash. Had some fun today. I mean, you guys look. Check out my Twitter. Sometimes I could upload the videos on Twitter. Okay, check out my Twitter. Check out the Discord. Okay, do those things because I could upload some ideas and some videos on those things. I know a lot of people want to just tune into the YouTube. That's cool, but actually, you know what? Just join the Discord. I'm gonna not gonna hold you though. Sometimes I do put more stuff on Twitter, just because Twitter is not that serious. But that's another reason why I kind of want to back away from Twitter because it's really not that serious. This internet is trash. Okay, so if I cut out, you kind of know why. Okay. Anyway, so what we're going to be talking about today is oh yeah, I might have a community center idea. Um, Also, I want to talk to you guys about market prices. This is one of the most, and in fact, there's actually a funny story where check this out. I go to the store. No, basically, I have this landlord. She's kind of cute. I'm not gonna hold you, but I'm not really trying to, you know, um, I'm not really trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like, not where I live. Anyway, so this landlord is all, hey, I'm like, what kind of liquid, like, what kind of alcohol you like? And she goes, she likes Amarula, right? I never heard of the shit. Apparently, it's like a cream liquor. It's not hard liquor. I like hard liquor. I kind of drank some today. Not gonna hold you guys. All right. Uh, so I get her the. So I go to the bar. Amarula. They're like, okay, do you want the small or the large? I'm like, okay, how much is the small? Small is 20,000. 20,000 shillings is like $10, right? And I say, how much is the large? They say the large is 45,000. So you're like, okay, let me look at these two bottles, right? The smaller bottle is 375 milliliters. Okay, the larger bottle is 750 milliliters. All right, so that means that the larger bottle is exactly twice the size of the smaller bottle, right? Um, and because of that, right, you would think that it would be less than more than half, more than twice the price. But instead, they're charging, like, basically, it's more economically feasible to get the two smaller bottles than it is to get the larger bottle, which is just stupid math. You know, I was thinking about getting two of the smaller bottles, but I was like, fuck it, fuck you guys are idiots. You know, it's like there's like this cartoon, um, it's called like Rick and Morty or something, and they had a scene like that where the guy doesn't like do the math properly, and the guy's like bad math. Anyway, so yeah, I'm walking by. I guess I don't know. Maybe they're watching football. I don't know shit. Um, it is what it is. You know, this is freaking Africa. Uh, so what am I gonna do? I don't have too many videos to show you guys. So most of them are just me talking. Just like this is a video of me talking. I'm not gonna hold you. Let's go. Okay, so every day is a new day for self-development. So today, what I want you to do is consider the word skirmishes, right? That is practicing for the battlefield, right? I want you to think about what challenges you have in your life and then try to set up a way to practice how you're going to overcome your, any adversity. All right. Thanks. So me saying thanks at the end was kind of bitchy, but I like this video because look, in this country, I want you to know that there's a lot of if you grip. Now, it turns out the average height here is 5'5", so I wish a motherfucker would. But even so, like, I'm not 100% confident that I could catch a motorcycle. Like, I'm not 100% confident that I can. Like, maybe like 20% confident, but not like 100% confident. You know, I shouldn't say 20, but yeah, probably. You know, it's really not that easy to catch a motorcycle. I'm not gonna hold you. Um, anyway, so yeah, so anyway, so I'm just walking by several venues. I'm trying to walk to a more quiet area, um, but that's easier said than done. Uh, I mean, like you obviously got to get there. So I had like no viewers. I don't even know if I'm online at this point. Like I don't even know if I'm online at this point. Uh, the other video, so that video you just heard is pretty much a part of an idea where I think I'm just gonna make it basic. You know, like you go on the Discord, you see this brother. He's talking about Peter Obi's. Why is Intellect talking about Peter Obi's platform, right? Peter Obi is like, yo, I'm gonna make Nigeria a fucking superpower, right? And that sounds all good, unless you're like in Africa. Like when you're in Africa, the probability of this country becoming a superpower overnight is almost ridiculous. Whew, I tell you though, boys. One thing I gotta tell you though is that the sisters here, whew, like they're just like ah. Anyway, but yeah, what I was saying was, of course, I don't speak English, so it doesn't matter. You can just say whatever the fuck you want. I don't know, it doesn't matter. Oh, I was gonna show you. I don't know, man. So this motherfucker, Mr. Untouchable, Bwana Hagasiki, is like, yo, take some videos of the sisters. So I actually did take a few videos of the sisters. Like not their faces, but like um, I just can't upload it because this fucking internet's stupid. I also thought it might be a little perverted. Like people might be like, whatever. But my thing is that maybe when I get back to America, I'll probably just like, like just for Buana. Like usually you wouldn't do that fucking weird thing, where you like record women when they're not watching. Um, but like Buana was like doing, and it's just like fuck it, if I'm not like if I got this espionage skill but I'm not like doing espionage for anybody, fuck it, I'll do it like that. I'm glad nobody's listening anyway. But I know people listen to the playback. All right, so what else can I say? All right, so I'm gonna just go to the second video. Outside of Milmani, celebrating graduations and stuff. I'm trying to go to this gym. So I asked some people, yo, how much it costs? They're talking about 5,000. Now, mind you, both is 2,000. So then I'm like, nah, fuck you, and I walk away. And they're all, oh, well, how about 4,000? It's like, no, shut the fuck up, man. I'm not even messing with you anymore, man. Like, you want to be mercenary, that's fine. You want to disrespect, that's fine. But like, I'm not gonna like sit in the fucking car with you and give you money, and I can just order it. Yeah. So that's another thing about like honesty versus dishonesty. Pretty much in this country, it's like everybody's trying to win over because like there's no regulation. So like I said, Nyerere was like, yeah, I said it now, I said it right. Nyerere was like, get some freaking regulation. Like if you have private enterprise without regulation, your country is doomed. Everybody is just so unregulated. Like matter of fact, I tell you guys this. I went to this hotel. Oh, I was gonna show you pictures of that thing. So I went to this nice hotel, right? And um, I was like, do you have a menu? They're like, yeah, we have a menu, right? Now the menu got T-bone steak, it got chicken, it got pizza, it got whatever, right? So you say to yourself, okay, I'm gonna get me a fucking T-bone steak. I'm not American, but you could only eat so much of the fucking what they usually eat is fucking chicken and fries, right? You can only eat so much chicken and fucking fries before you say to yourself, okay, like yeah, I fucking eat a steak. I'll eat fucking all we have is chicken. Okay, right? So I guess I'm gonna fucking eat chicken and fries again. Menu, the chicken is 15,000 shillings. That's about $7.50, right? This motherfucker comes in and says, "Hey man, it's actually 40,000 because I bought 2 plates, right? It's actually 40,000. Why is it 40,000? I show him on the fucking menu. It's 15,000, right? And he's like, "No, it's not this one. It's something else." Like, and then you call at the front desk. You're like, "Yo, I didn't call the front desk. The woman that was there, right? Well, how the fuck am I at a hotel with a woman, right? But anyway, the woman that was there, she called the front desk and she's like, "Yeah, they say 40,000." And it's just like, yo, like, so when we talk about unregulated, here's the trouble. You as a private individual can't regulate per se, but at the same time, it's like that's what we have to do as an African people is we have to, when we bring business to Africa, we have to, quote unquote, have some sort of standard. And I want you to understand this, that the religions that you know of, the Abrahamic religions, from Judaism to Islam to, Christianity, they have that in their, like, they have regulation for their businesses. You know what I'm saying? They have their regulations for their business. Hold on a second. I'll tell you, man, these women be, oh my gosh. These women be like, yeah, so one thing is that women like you for your body, but they also like you more for your money. I'm not gonna hold you guys. Yeah, they like you more for your money. I know they like you more for your money. It's like really 50-50. It's like, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them. It's like, here's a guy who comes out of nowhere, who's an excellent lover, of course, but he's also pretty generous. And that said, like that's a really, like that's actually something that is highly desirable by women. You know what I mean? Like to not just be a great lover, but also to be generous. In fact, you could actually, if you peep, a lot of times what Black women say in America is something like, "Oh, I hate, like those poor guys. They got some good D, you know." But at the same time, like they're poor. You know what I'm saying? So they're not as desirable just because they have good D. Now here's the thing, like I'm technically one of the poor guys in America, right? I'm just fucking with y'all. But like for real. So it's like best of both worlds. Don't just mess with you guys. That's what the last video was. I wish I had more videos, but I don't.
Took my first boxing class. Yeah. Looks like I got good shape for other things. I might need to work out a little more, so probably gonna do some more classes. That's it.
Yeah. So I took a boxing class. It fucked me up, man. I ain't gonna hold you guys. Like I said, I got endurance for other stuff, but not really for that. I do recommend, like anybody else, I recommend Black folk, learn the martial arts. And I think that the martial arts, because I saw this video that I think Harsh Reality put up. Like he retweeted some white boy who was saying, "Yo, boxing is the fucking thing," and the white boy had a lot of logic. He was like, "Yo, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is pretty good if you're, like if you're fighting one-on-one on the ground. But in real life, if you get on the ground and you're not fighting one-on-one, you're fucking dead." Right? So like nobody's gonna just watch you as you hold them down. And not just that, like I put it up on the Discord as well, but there's like this video of this guy. It was this guy in a pretty good hold, and then the guy just grabs his balls. He just grabs it, just squeezes his dick. Why? Because why the fuck would I not squeeze your dick or hit your dick or grab your balls in a real fight? You think I'm just gonna stand there while you're choking me out? Like, no. And I mean, I'm not saying that I would personally do that shit, but like again, like if your whole fighting, if your whole fight philosophy is that the other person is not going to try to, destroy you in every way possible, then that's not a real fight position. With boxing, it's just straight up, hey, look, I'm a 1-2 you, and then I'm gonna 1-2 your friend, And so like I was fighting with this guy, and Yeah, he was pretty mobile, you know, and he's like, hey, his whole thing is like, hey, you know, I don't know if it was all that good, but I'm gonna what's his face? Um, I'm gonna try to see if I can get my writing out so that I can have a little bit more uh, format here. Let's see something. So I guess somebody scored or something. Anyway, so all right, let's see if I could get this 10 lectures November. Oh yeah, market rates. Yeah, yeah. There was a lot that happened this fucking week, guys. Uh, fake woke. Oh yeah, that was freaking sad. When was the last day? Oh yeah, week 4. Okay. So I said white people are race obsessed. I think I told you guys that last time. So I said, look. So we're going. So basically, the landlord's brother is the fucking misogynist. That's why I took the boxing lessons. To be honest, he was like, "Hey, do you box? I want a boxing sparring partner." And mind you, this guy's huge, but he's a fucking misogynist. So I was like, "Yeah, sure enough." But let me just go to a fucking class first. Yeah. So I'm not. I didn't really fight him though, because I was like, yeah. After that one class, I realized I'm not really ready to fight a giant guy. Um, on top of not being fucking trained, but it is what it is. So anyway, I said like this Negro yesterday. So that's a Negro. He's fucking misogynist. This Negro yesterday was telling me how one reason why Africa didn't suffer from COVID is because it doesn't have old people. I hear a lot of people saying how there aren't really old people here. That's good and bad though. Wazungu was looking for immortality, but we see merit in early death. Like the guy is just like kind of low key bragging about how, oh, we live shorter lives, but we live better lives. And it's like, shut the fuck up. Like white people, look, I tell you, man, like I don't really like white people, but like respectively, they're just like, yeah, I want to fucking achieve immortality. You know, find a way to for me to live into the 25th century. You know, find a way for me to survive the fucking planet Earth. And black folk are kind of just like, it's a good thing that we die at 20. Like some dumb shit like that. You know, like, like, oh my gosh, like, shut the fuck up. You know? But it's all good. Like I said, you know, in this country, I'm telling you, what we're going to do, like the plan is, like I can't own anything. I'm going to tell you guys that too. So I can't own anything. That said, that's a good thing. You know, that means that I could just come into the country and not own shit. You know what I mean? Just like rent a building. And look, renting is so much cheaper um, in the short term. You know what I'm saying? Like obviously owning is cheaper in the long term, but renting is cheaper in the short term, which means that you make more money quickly. You get what I'm saying? You start making more money quickly, and you don't have to like whether the thing is profitable or not. You like make the same profit per se, uh, or you make profit quicker. You obviously make less profit in the long term, but you make more profit more quickly. That said, we're going to talk about that soon, right? So I had that out of order. But like, yeah, I had this experience with some American woman who is just like my gosh, like it's just like the audacity of American people. Although I'm not gonna hold you, I guess maybe in Africa the women do have some audacity too, because uh like I guess people were telling me about my son's use of technology, like his overuse of technology just now. And it's like shut the fuck up. Like I don't even want to hear that. But when it comes to like uh women in the West, it's like, yo, so I'm like I said, I'm not going to talk about my son's mother because like you guys can look her up and it's kind of like she's gonna, she, how she is. like I'll try to give an example just to be like, oh, it's like shut the fuck up. Like we're here to cooperate for our son's benefit, and you're just like talking to me like who the fuck even talks to me like that? You know? Like nobody even talks to me like that. Uh, let alone somebody I don't even like mess with like that. You know, and it actually reminds me of like this brother and this sister. So, I got this one dude I'm bragging about. You know, I'm bragging about. You know, getting ladies over here. So he's like, you're a sex tourist, and that's fine, right? Look at this. I want to tell you guys this. So on the last podcast, right? I was I was talking about how I was on a bus and the sister was sitting next to me. She started kind of pulling up her dress and I was rubbing her leg, all that shit. This lady even called me during the podcast, like, why don't you pick up the phone? All that type shit. She's been calling me ever since, regularly. Notwithstanding that, some American woman like cursed me out about that conversation and called me a fucking single woman, that they hate me and that like fuck you only to my fucking personal WhatsApp, like to my phone number. Like what kind of audacity is that? Like one thing's like my thing is this: you don't like the fucking podcast, be like the people Yeah, I can't do it. I just can't do it. Like, actually, though, I realize I have two phones, so maybe I actually can do it. But like, fuck it. This thing is like this internet is so fucking trash. It's almost a freaking joke. Like, it's so trash. Um, I think what happens though is that sometimes when I look at the like my notes, it cuts off. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look at my notes on another phone. Hopefully that I can see where it cuts off or type shit. All right, so because that's like a whole Tarot, you know. All right, so here's the next one. So I say, I think my next, so obviously I'm going to change it from the big dick energy thing. I think I'm just going to talk about self development, like I originally planned to. I was just kind of like pissed at the fucking little dick energy I've seen here, or the pee-wee energy I see here. But anyway, I think my next self-help book will be on big dick energy as a spin-off of alpha male energy, and it's more vital than a strictly economics nation builder paradigm because many of the men around here would benefit more from owning their dicks at this point. A sis was telling me in conversation how the men generally are passive and non-assertive and constantly getting played, and I've seen that firsthand. One dude, for instance, after I kissed his girlfriend in front of him, dry begged me to give him money because he's hungry and without. I returned to a grocery store after leaving a substantial tip, and the ladies quickly came to my assistance. One followed me around with a cart and helped me sample colognes. Finished, I asked what she wanted and got her chocolates and cashews. Wanted my number. She put her number in my phone, and then I asked her if she wanted a hug. She said yes, so I hugged her, but she was like, "Not here." And yeah, boys. Anyway, BDE wouldn't just be about phallicide as much as being a man who asserts himself, helps himself and family, and has fun. Addendum: one thing I noticed about American rap music among women is the obsession with GPE, good pussy energy. I've yet to see this in Africa. Again, language barrier. Many Americanized men do look at particularly crazy women as sexually adept. Um, but yeah. So like I did link a song. You're gonna see it on Twitter or Discord. But I linked a song where these women they were like atrocious looking. Like they were like street names. So let's say it's Nyerere Boulevard. There's two Nyerere Boulevards in Tanzania. So you're like, hey, I'm at 24 Nyerere Boulevard, and they're like, oh, you're ridiculously close to your destination. Oh, I'm actually really far from my destination. That's a different 24 Nyerere Boulevard. This is like it's almost like what kind of a joke is this country? Let's keep going though. Before we talk money, just half the K and turn the K into a dollar. So 5K is like $2 and 130K is like $65. So I got my okay. I was gonna say I was gonna say how many women I've slept with, but never mind. I'm gonna say she's fine. Anyway, I took her to a hotel and like a man was bragging to the hotel attendant about how nice she was. Why this man started offering me cheap whores? Okay, he started offering me cheap whores. This is like a fucking 5'2" tall man who's like, hey, dude, I see you're with a woman. I should offer you one of my women to buy. So I'm just like, I'm a social experimenter. Now I didn't take his woman offer yet because the only one he sent me looked like trash. But no disrespect to the lady, but like no, I'm not paying anything for that. But yeah, and again in this country you're like expect like I said, it's like run by beta males. It's like beta male culture is like rampant here. So you're supposed to like I mean, because the infrastructure is just trash. Like I say, if it takes you if it takes a woman round trip 50,000 to come see you, the least you could do is compensate her for like you could reimburse her for the travel, and of course you don't just say, hey, look, your time was not worth anything either. So you might reimburse her for the travel, you might give her something in addition to the reimbursement. But like if you just say like, because the first time I messed with a woman, I was just like, I don't give a shit if you spent 60,000 traveling. I don't give a shit if you spent 2 hours traveling to me. You're not getting a fucking dime from me because I don't fucking pay, right? Like I did it, but like she kind of was like, damn, man, like you know, as much as I like this guy, he's treating me worse than the fucking betas do. You know what I mean? So it's like you're in a beta country. So it is what it is. Uh, hold on a second. Okay, I thought somebody was talking to me. All right, so cheap by even this woman. So I said, look, why does man start offering me cheap whores? So cheap by even this woman costs more than the prostitutes, right? It's weird. So I say that. So this is the thing that happened. So when I was originally came to this country, one of the dudes was like, "Hey man, I could like even he was like my landlord's nephew or something like that." And he's like, "Hey man, I could set you up with some women, and it's just 40,000 or 50,000 shillings, which is like 25 bucks, right?" Um, and at first I was like, so I kind of used that as a basis for how much women, like how much you would give a woman in addition to travel fees, I guess, basically, to not insult her. But anyway, so I said this woman I brought, though, oh, she was gorgeous, by the way, guys, boys, she was gorgeous. But anyway, this woman I first bought her 130K dinner was for my son, her, and me, which was bad General Soul's, like really garlicky. Then we traveled to a hotel for 30K. Like the travel to the hotel was just 30K, as it is, right? It was 15 bucks because she's lazy as fuck, right? She wanted me to whatever. And then I already spent 20K to go to the restaurant, which was another 50K. And then I have her. Then I think I gave her like 60K because whatever. And then she asked for like 30K more because she used it out for her business to travel. And again, like I said, like for me, it's like I don't researcher. You know what I mean? Um, and I said, look, I want to brag. But mind you, this woman was getting like 5 fucking orgasms, lamenting the one shot Tanzanian. So like most Tanzanians are like, oh, come once and finish, right? Anyway, so I'm paying these beta shit. I'm paying because beta shit is the norm. You're competing against betas here because of a bad economy. Which is partly why I believe BDE is the method, though I don't want to neglect the political party mindset. So I don't want to neglect the political party mindset, but here's the thing: you can't talk politics here. In fact, I should be whispering when I say the word, because they do kill people over it. Okay, but the government does listen, and the government does kill people over it. That said, yeah. Like the men are just like they're just not even up to par. Like when we like I said, like this brother was talking about Peter Obi's policies, and he's like Peter Obi is going to bring Nigeria to the fourth industrial revolution, and make it digital and make the corruption end and all that kind of shit. When you're in Africa sitting here with a fucking lot of beta men, and look again, Tanzania is probably not Nigeria, okay? But when you're just sitting around a bunch of beta men, it's like, yeah, that's not it's not a and mind you, like it. I think that for fucking there are some black men. I don't know about tons. Like I'm here, sure, but like I don't know at this point. Like I don't even fucking know. Um, like it's almost all a fucking joke. Like it's almost all a joke. What I can say is, uh, what I can say is, let me think. Nah, I'm just thinking about this. Blana says, "You really going hard on Tanzanian dudes, Oni, LOL." What I can say is this: I should have told my fucking landlord. There's a lot of motherfucking suspicious people around here. I should have told my landlord, uh, how to contact my son's mother, just in case they like shoot me in the fucking head while I'm here. Um, Blana says, "You didn't get your clothes washed properly today." I did. Man, look, man, the hygiene level in this fucking country is terrible. So the fucking little girl who washes the stuff, like she's like the house girl or something. I guess they pay her like pennies, but like the hygiene in this fucking country is so fucking low, like so subpar. Like if you're a germaphobe, you'll be pissed the fuck off. Like this lady like fixes, like she's supposed to fix her bed every day. I told her to stop because I don't want people going to my room like that. But like the way she fixes the bed is she just climbs onto your bed in the clothes she just slept in. The fuck are you climbing on my bed for? In the clothes you slept in, like stepping on my bed. Like it's like, what are you fucking doing? And like the water that we use, there was this little boy who lived with us, and he's just like, you pull out the bucket, and then he washes his hands in the bucket of water, and then he puts the bucket back into the larger can of what, like what? And or like even today, this lady like sprays the whole fucking house with mosquito repellent, and she sprays it over the one water supply that you use to wash your mouth, you use to wash your dick. Like, what the fuck is wrong? Like, oh my gosh, like. I need to get out of this house, but I have like more time in this house. But I need to get out of this house. Like sometimes it's just like the weirdest thing. I'm not even gonna hold you guys. It's like, and it's everything. Like even if you bring a woman to a hotel, the first thing she does is sits on the bed with her clothes. She doesn't take off her shoes when she enters, and then I think when she like dries off with the towel, she puts it on the couch that that's where she puts the towel that I have to dry myself off with. It's like, what are you guys even thinking? Like, it's weird. It's weird. Uh, like it's weird. Anyway, let me stop that. He says you need to get out of there, bro. Tanzania ain't your style. No, I like the language. I like the language. Like, I need to stop using English as a crutch. I need to learn to like yesterday I had a cool moment where I walked up some these dudes were like just starting a fire in the fucking corner of the street. Don't know what the fuck that was about. I think they were burning garbage, but still, like, what? So I walk up, and I think I say something like, Mambo, maybe? I don't know. Maybe I said Mambo. And then they just kept looking at me. And then I came closer, and he's staring at me like, yo, motherfucker, you step, like, what are you doing? I will burn you. And I'm just like, Poa, like, it's cool. And I walk away. Oh, he's staring at me with, like, a knife in his hand. I don't know. But like I'm like getting there with the language acquisition. Um, so it's not totally a loss. Anyway, so look, so I said, oh, and old boy, oh yeah. So about the motherfucking weirdo at the fucking hotel who started offering me a prostitute. He's like, I said, old boy was offering me a white woman, so I was like, nah. And then he explained not all the way white. So again, white actually means in this country fair complexion. Okay, so a white woman in this country pretty much means a fair complexioned woman, like basically the yellow woman. So remember, if you guys remember that guy who was like walking around Ghana and he's like, "Am I white or black?" And he's like light as fuck, right? Um, and everybody's like, "You're white," right? And then we all in America are like, "Why are they? They're so stupid with their race consciousness." No, if you're a bunch of black people, then the people who are yellow are white. You know what I'm saying? Because and you got to think about it too in this way. It's like it's like before white people met um or I'll give you another example where basically white people would say I like people who are tall, dark, and handsome. And so like a Roman guy would be dark in Rome, like in Europe. But he's obviously not dark skinned if you're black. So that's where that whole, oh, you're white in Africa comes from, because you're in Africa. Just like in Europe, you're dark if you're like olive complexion, or you're olive complexion. Like they'll say you're olive complexion, whereas we might be like, oh no, olive is Latino or brown is, like no, like if you're not in this super multiracial diverse culture, then that's what it is. But anyway, nah, Tanzania is my country, dude. Like I realize in retrospect, New York City is um a fucking asylum. It's an asylum. There's actually this. I put it on Twitter, so make sure you guys follow my Twitter. But um, on Twitter, I put up a clip of this white boy singing a song, and he's like, dude, Don't stay in New York City for too long. He's like, live in New York City for a little bit, but don't stay in it too long because it'll make you too hard. And he's like, don't stay in California for too long; it'll make you too soft. And it's like, real talk. I've been in New York City for like 30 fucking years, and I mean, there's this video of this motherfucker in New York City, sitting down in a fucking chicken costume. Okay, sitting down. No, he's sitting on a turkey costume on a train, eating a turkey, a full ass turkey. And it's like what could compel you to wake up in the morning and do something so stupid and useless? You know, like the thing I like about here in Tanzania is that every motherfucker's like hustling. Every motherfucker's doing a business. They're not necessarily like regulated per se, but everybody's doing a business. You know, there's not too many layabouts. There's not too many people just doing dumb shit. Nobody's really doing fuck shit. Like the most fuck shit around here is me. You know, like I walk outside, like sometimes, like I was in a hotel with this woman, and I walked outside without my shirt on, you know, to get some water. That's fuck shit. People looking at me like, what the fuck are you doing? Right? But it's cool because like I don't give a shit. You know, like first off, if you're like 5'3", I don't care what you have to say to me. If you're a man. Um, yeah. Yeah, anyway, but that's it. Let me just keep going though. But yeah, no, I like this country. I was gonna go more on, like this is a really good country. It's just that a lot needs to be fixed. I think that's actually the next one. So I said, look, I'm actually doing the equivalent of going into the hood to research class. That said, the people are generally entrepreneurial, hardworking, lawful, respectful, and confident. The same couldn't even be said of America's overclass. Tanzania's disadvantage is fixable. So this is like a country where you can fix things. Like, sure, the power is not always on. Sure, the water is not always running. Sure, the wages are low and people are whatever, right? But these are like really good people. And there's 65 million of them. And this city is 4 million people. Okay, 4.5 million people. It's huge. So it's like twice the size of New York City in surface area, but it's half the population. Okay, but it's like you can work with this because the people are just much better. If you were to go into the underclass or the hood of New York City, like fuck it, you're not getting out. You know, sorry, not that you're not getting out, but um, like I said, the hygiene level is so fucking sick that I'm like sick. Anyway. But it's really my fault. I rented a family home for like a month. I shouldn't have done that. Usually I stayed at a place for like a week each time. But I said, fuck it. Let me get me the cheap, the apparently, look, I'm doing the math. I'm actually over fucking paying. I wanted to upload that video. Let me see if I can actually upload it. Of this sister across the way of her house. Because I met this interior designer and she was like, hey, no, I was like, I got to check out your house. It turns out she got a nice body too, but she's she's an older lady. And she's not really pretty either. I'm not going to hold you guys. I'm not going to just sit there and lie to you guys. But anyway, or she's not as pretty as the women that I have my eyes on, you know? Uh, but yeah. So anyway, so let's just go on. So the other advantage about being in a black country is you're compared against black men only. In that way, if you're a good black man, you're a good man, right? In white countries, you're compared against white men too. In which case, a good black man isn't enough. So like I'll say it that way. I'll say again, like what women really want from a man is the D and the good and the generosity. Okay, so you want the good D and the generosity, right? And if I'm in this fucking underclass, right? Like if I'm week, no. Let's say $3,000 a week, right? I can lose that every week. In the hood, right? Like and you're just like generous with it, In that way, like yeah, women will dig you. The pipe too, like yeah, you're a fucking rock star in that. And so like it doesn't matter what the change is. I'm just like, here you go. To the point where, and then like I also just give them like 10,000 bills just for helping me, um, helping me like with my bags. Although it did get annoying because like as soon as I walk in, they're just like, hey, can I get some change? You know, and you're like, wow, no, right? But like so I did fuck up. Like you don't want to do that. But like I'm saying, like if you do that in the city, like yeah, like because that like some brother was telling me back in the day. Buana said, "What's her body like?" Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. Like her body looks like it's like a lot of these women here got like bodies, dude. Like there's nobody who's like huge gut, but a lot of people who are curvy, you know, in a good way. Like for instance, this one woman I got a number of. By the way, guys, boys, I want to tell you this: take the bus. When you're in Tanzania, just take the damn bus. It's so much fucking smarter, and you can talk to women. Like you can't talk to women on the personal, uh, on the Bolt. You know, Bolt is like their Uber. You can't talk to women on a private car. The exchange rate is $1 is 2,300 Tanzanian shillings, right? So basically, you give them a 10,000, it's like giving them a $5. But 10,000 is actually a lot for them, you know, because somebody was telling me the average income is like 300,000 a month, right? So basically, you're giving them like a day's wages. You know what I mean? And that's like 300,000 if you're like working a good job. Um, it's 100,000 if you're not. So yeah. So like if you're just like throwing around, you know, a day's wages at a person. So like a day's wages, I don't remember what it's like in America, but it's like I guess like I mean I don't want to say it's $100, but like I don't know what the average is in America, but let's say it's $100. Oh, like it's like you just threw $100 to somebody if you give them a 10K. You know what I'm saying? Like if in America, if you were just, you know, if you help somebody with their bags and then they just gave you $100, that's pretty much what I look like in Tanzania. You know what I'm saying? I just look like I just gave somebody $100 for no reason, and so they kind of just like latch around. But of course, it's not $100; it's $5. Um, I actually, so I got this video on Twitter where I'm just like, yo, they sold me brandy, a bottle of brandy. It was like 200 milliliters for $2. It was 4,000 shillings. It's crazy. Anyway, but yeah, like I said, you're compared against other men. So being compared to other men who are like yeah. So pretty much, and then me, I'm just like, fuck it. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. And I like have it like all the time, you know. And I gotta hold you guys. Like I pull out my wallet and it has like, you know, I'm not gonna say it actually because a lot of people around, but you get what I'm saying. Like, you know, let's say a month, you know what I mean, or a month or two, just like in the fucking money clip, you know. And I just show it off because I'm just like, fight me somebody. No, I'm just joking. I'm fucking with you guys. Somebody gonna come up through and like shoot my black ass, right? Anyway, uh anyway, so let's see the other advantage about yeah. So I said, then you're reminded how crappy business culture in Tanzania is. Good grief. Ask this woman how much would a home with a bathtub and shower cost, and it's excessively high and seemingly random number, right? And actually, you know, I realize that I might be doing business with. I'm like I don't want to say this, but like these people I'm trying to do business with, like it seems like I might be barking up the wrong tree because it's like multiple times I'm coming to these people and saying to them, like, give me a real business estimate. And they're just like, yo, I'm confident that this is a good number. And like the situation happened again because all right, so I'm not trying to deal with like basically I'll say it this way. I was messing with a couple of women to the point where it dawned on me that I might be messing with too many women, right? Like at some point you just realize you might be messing with too many women. To the point where you're like, I don't want to mess with a good woman anymore, you know, because I've transitioned into a bad guy. You know what I mean? So there's this good woman, she's cute and all that, and I'm trying to pretty much tell her, look, I don't want you anymore, right? Like we're playing this weird long game, all that kind of stuff. I don't want you anymore, right? So, and it's hard for me because it's like she still wants me, right? But I'm trying to tell her, look, I don't want you, right? Because like I've been bad. You know what I mean? Like I'll tell you guys this way. Oh my gosh, this woman, the woman who like changed my mind. Look, because pretty much it's like, so I'm following the European model, which is like the European, not the European model per se, but like these white boys once said, hey, you should try before you buy. You know, a lot of ways that betas get into relationships is that they try to get to know a woman, and then after trying to get to know a woman, they, oh my gosh, boys, like if you saw these women, if you women, oh my gosh. Anyway, all right. So a lot of betas, the way they do it is they like want to get to know a woman, and then after they get to know her, they sleep with her, and they kind of just stick around, even if the bed is bad, right? Um, I don't like that idea. I think that because one thing is this. First off, you know, shout out to Gnostic Initiate. You guys know Tyler Solomon. Shout out for that brother, right? He told me when you work out, when you exercise, you're going to get your fucking sexual stamina up. Okay? You're going to get your sexual stamina up. So to the point where you can start lasting, you know, hours if need be, right? That said, not every woman could withstand hours of pounding if they're used to the fucking beta male. Okay? And when I say withstand hours, I'm not talking about withstand hours of gentle lovemaking. I'm talking about hours of like being a fucking man. Okay? Like you know, full energy, like nothing stopped, right? And I know you guys are like, what the fuck? That's too much information. No, I'm trying to tell you, not every woman is going to be sexually compatible with you. Okay? That said, try before you buy. You know, so I messed with a couple of women. I'm not gonna hold you guys, but like, if I had like a couple of them, like I couldn't even fucking finish. I couldn't even have my orgasm. You know, my second orgasm. Um, some women, yeah, I could. And so this last woman though that I messed with, not the last, but you know, one of the last. Like it dawned on me that like that's the woman that I would want to pursue seriously. Now I've had other women. One of them was like married. The fuck was that about? One of them was like, hey, look, I have a medical condition where I can't do doggy style. Like what? And you gotta know your fucking favorite sexual position, guys, right? Like what you can or can't do. Another one was like, she was the first woman I messed with, who I would have been with, the one who ghosted me because I didn't give her any fucking money. Um, yeah, she's like, I don't do oral sex. You know what I mean? So it's like a top, and one of them is a fucking gold digger. Like she's a gold digger. Like the one who was like the one I told you guys about. I got well, I shouldn't say any numbers, but you guys know what I'm saying. I bought her a bunch of expensive food, and then later on she was like, "Give me 30 more." Now the other woman, right? I still handed her some money. She didn't even look at it. She didn't even look at it. And she's like, "You don't have to do this," you know. And she also low key fell in love, so she might be crazy, but still, she's like, "You don't have to do this," and it's like, boom, guys. If I were just like, "Oh, let me go for the first woman, the one who doesn't give head," it's like, damn, boys, let me tell you, man, if you guys could see this woman right now, god dang. Anyway, all right, back to reality. Let's see. So Buana says, are tan women sexually liberated or are they conservative? Bro, women are like the same everywhere on the planet. This is why like people like these guys were like, oh, you're a sex tourist. No, I'm not a fucking sex tourist. I was a Mac in America and I'm just a Mac in motherfucking Tanzania. The difference is that the men, most like in America, there's a lot more Macs. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot more Macs. There's a lot more alpha men. But here it's kind of like no. So it's like the women are just easy picking. Okay, they're just easy picking. So like the last woman I told you guys about, the one who's good, who's like, yeah, like if I could take a woman to America, like I probably would snatch this woman, right? I mean, because if you guys saw her body, oh my gosh, right? Anyway, but like um, her whole thing is, oh yeah, I met this lady in a motherfucking Pizza Hut eating by herself. I thought she was checking me out. She said she wasn't. Doesn't matter. I sit next to her. I start talking, blah, 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 blah. Now, they're conservative in the sense that you're not supposed to do any public displays of affection. I don't give a shit, though. I told her, hey, we get a hug. And I walked outside with her. I gave her a hug, lifted her up. She kissed me, right? And I said, look, you meet me tomorrow at a hotel. And she was like, sure. And sure enough, she did. And I'm telling you, man, I started like doubting stuff because this woman was so freaking skilled in the bedroom. It was ridiculous. Now, one thing I'm going to tell you guys, I mean, it's kind of too much information. Most of the women here are not good at oral sex at all. It's weird, but like most of them are not. I'm not going to say I didn't have one woman who gave good oral sex, but like most of them are just like trash at it. I'll tell you guys that like as a heads up, especially since we had that clip of the Kenyan woman from yesterday. So like just straight up, like don't expect good oral sex when you're here. Like expect women to be like, "What the fuck is this?" You know. I like how I have like listeners and then I have like less listeners. It's like check please, but I like that too. I like that too. I'm just gonna tell you guys what the IS is, right? Anyway, I'm just gonna tell you guys what the IS is. I'm not gonna like sugarcoat it. Anyway, so the other thing I learned was that if you're a foreigner, you cannot own land. Okay, you can't own land, and like you also like the only way you can own land, they said, is if you're dealing with three types of businesses. One is mining operations, one is uh, petroleum, and the other one is manufacturing. Oh, weapons, explosives, and stuff. Um, Obviously, I like weapons and all that shit, but I don't have that kind of money to make the weapons, and we're gonna talk about that more too. We'll talk about that later too, because essentially, like some of the business license fees, they said the average is like $35,000 fucking dollars, which really puts a dent into my idea of having a community center because I don't have fucking like because you're not gonna make that much fucking money here. Like at best, you're gonna charge people 10,000 shillings to get into your building, right? At best, you're gonna charge people 10,000 shillings to get into your building, which is like $5. It's just no fucking way you're gonna make $35,000 anytime soon. Charging people $5 to get it, like no way. By the way, if you guys heard that sound, I got another match on Tinder. You don't have to use Tinder. It's I do it as a social experiment. But like that's another thing too. Like I realized this: if you have to pay women, like if you should give women money for sex, then just go for the best women. And that's another thing too. Like that's another thing too. Like as a Mac, this is general information. And I'm gonna try to give people this information. But as a Mac or as a person, like a ladies' man, whatever you want to call it, right? Try to go after the best woman in the fucking room. Five seconds. It's almost ridiculous. Like this country is just like fatty with a fatty, back to back to back to back to back to back. Uh, and like I said, like there's no such thing as street game here, so you can do it, and you win, like you win, like the women are sexually conservative. Okay, they're sexually conservative. They play men. They're all that kind of stuff, but you win because like you're new, you're different, you're, and then you also like women think you have money. Because again, like they're five, like it's $5 for you. Now, obviously, it adds up. So you should come prepared for that. But like, yeah, if you're a handsome dude, if you have a muscular frame, if you're basically me, right? And if you just have confidence, like, yeah, you can pretty much, like, the women are sexually conservative, sure, but like, again, it doesn't matter if a woman's sexually. On my podcast was late to fucking date with a Muslim. I almost got into a date with a Muslim. That's something that I wouldn't even think about doing in America. Low key, because I wouldn't really want to date a Muslim. But like, yeah, like for real, like, things happen. Now, the reason why it fell apart was because like people are just shit. People are just shit when it comes to like communication and planning and scheduling. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, I don't know if you guys hear the background. I want to see if this woman is cute on this. Nah, never mind. All right, so I'm gonna go to read this other stuff. Mining, oil, or explosives. All right, so it says the brother of my landlord decided to inform me that I'm paying too little for his sister's cooking, telling me how I'd pay a lot more in America and how it isn't fair that I pay less. I'm using my privilege. Blah blah blah. Right. So then I inform him about market rates, right? And even how people pay people as much to come back to work, even in Europe. He steps out, but on his return is like, I'm sounding like an American of black people. Now, I'm offended for African Americans because, like, what the fuck is wrong with, like, again, this guy's a misogynist. He's married to like a German. Like, it's like that fucking, he's like that misogynist. Like, yeah. And so I'm like, it's important. Like, yeah. So it's just like, I'm offended because it's like, why would you even say that when they didn't pay people? I told them, like, they didn't pay people anything. But it's important to realize market rates. It's like, if you want me to pay more for your sister's cooking, then just tell her to give me my money back so I can go out fucking side and eat cheaper. You know? Because that's how the market works. If there is a cheaper option beside me that's like of similar quality, then I'm not gonna fucking get it from you. I'm going to go outside. You have to go by the market. You don't say, well, if you were in America, I'm not in fucking America. If I were in America, I'd be eating the fucking food that I want to eat, not like whatever the fuck your sister cooks. You know? Buana says, real. Almost, man. She was cute too. She was cute too. Like, everybody's cute here though, man. It's not even like it's not even like I wanna upload these videos. I can't though because oh wait, let me see. I think I just uploaded one video. Okay, all right, Buana, just for you. I'm gonna upload this woman. She didn't speak a lick of fucking Swahili, English though. I was following, but like I was looking for, like I told you guys, I was looking for that Amarula, and then so I went to this lady and I was like, hey, where can I get Amarula? And then she just said follow her, and I was like, fuck it. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna record this for Buana. I'm gonna record her backside for Buana, just because it's like speak English. So I didn't get her number because it was like I that because like one time like first is the married woman, like you lay down with like post sex, she wants to cuddle, and then you can't talk at all to a woman who doesn't speak your language. So like language compatibility is also like a must. And that's like actually one of the disadvantages of my son being here is that everybody's speaking Swahili around him. So like, sure, my son does sometimes be like, "Habari za asubuhi," you know what I mean? Or he might say "Asante" or some shit. But like real talk, it's like a disadvantage. Now let me show you guys this. This is just for Buana. Buana. Like I said that so. All right, so like that's like the normal body type in Tanzania. I want to tell you that there are women who have like that South African body. Um, just bubbling in the sun, boy. I'm telling you, man. That's like that's just the norm. And you see how she's not like fat. You know, not to say that there are not fat women, but we're gonna talk about that later too. Like I said, if like basically you can get those like gargantuan bodies, but you just you probably like again like every woman you're supposed to pay. So like but the rates are pretty mediocre compared to what you would do if you tried to get one of those women in America. And plus, like one of those women in America would look like Miss Piggy sometimes or most times. I don't have a PG video of this one woman that I feel like she's a cam girl. Like I feel like she's a scam. But like this one woman, like, oh my gosh, like boys. Like boys. I mean, because it's a public profile, I feel like when I get back to America I could show it off. But like anyway, let's keep going. Important lesson though, that you have to go by local markets, and you can't negotiate the price after the sale. So that's what I'm saying. Like one of the things that you got to realize is that it's important that you have to go by the local markets, and that you can't negotiate the price after the sale. Now, granted, like this house that I'm living in is just like it's way overpriced, but it is what it is, right? I say if you feel like you deserve American market rates in Tanzania, then everyone will just buy from the other sellers selling at Tanzanian rates. I'm reminded of a woman with a colossal booty. She's trying to play me for $15. Her body type, though, would yield her thousands in the US. Like this woman that I'm talking about, she's like, hey, I want $15. And I'm like, I don't give a shit. Let me see where this goes, right? In America, this woman, oh my gosh, like I'm telling you guys, like I feel like I need to show you guys when I get back. This woman just has like the body, and then she's beautiful on top of that, like almost like a Photoshop beautiful. It's weird, and she's just like, I need $15, and you're like, okay, like idiot. She's like stupid American. I got $15. You're like, yeah, I don't give a shit about 15 fucking bucks, you idiot. Uh, anyway, but if she went for thousands in Tanzania, she would have no customers, right? Because her competitors are so dumb. Anyway, all right, let's go on. So I said the misogynist challenged me to a boxing match, but he's twice my size. There's a boxing gym in Dar, so I'm finna go. Nerere calls boxing out of weight class murder. So yeah, I think men should know martial arts though. Um, anyway, so I said I need to think of a business and martial arts business, maybe the cheapest to operate since main cost would be instructor, right? I'd also it also make the most sense if you want to infuse African spirituality. I'm gonna relate to you guys a story about this brother. Like I said, there's like 100 black men in New York, or there's less than 100 black men in New York. One of the black men was this brother I knew. I don't need to say his whole name, but let's just call him C or Mr. C, right? Yeah, this dude grew up on the African. He grew up on like a martial arts class where the instructor like really put in like a bunch of African stuff like Zinga and all that kind of stuff. On top of teaching these motherfuckers how to fight, and then them going to tournaments and like kicking the shit out of white people. You know, that's a good thing. You know, and like I said, like when it comes to this whole business license being like $35,000 on average, but it depends on what you do. Um, like I feel like I might have to get like a business that's really um, really not high scale, upscale, you know? Forecast says, what up, Oni and Buana? What up, Forecast? Buana says, those Tanzanian women will completely spoil you. You got to be spitting at American women. You're going to be spitting at women when you get back. Nah, that's what I'm saying. I'm mad I got to get back, man. I'm mad I got to get back. Yeah, part of me is like, because his mother doesn't want him in Tanzania for too long. Part of me is like, I might just have to leave my son behind. I'm not going to hold you guys. I'm probably not going to do that, but like at the same time, it's like, like it's just like it's like a fucking asylum in America. It's like a bunch of crazy people, a bunch of fighting, a bunch of quarreling, a bunch of arguing, a bunch of ego. Like it's just like fucking stupid. And
So I'm at an interior designer's house. Look at this. Woo! Boys, this is why you gotta go for like interior designers are no joke. And no way they said I could just record. Oh my gosh. Well, I mean I don't like that, but they actually have a toilet, so check this out. I'm gonna go quickly because I know you guys love toilets. Boom.
Yeah. So basically, what I'm saying is this. So basically, her rent. Look at this. Her rent is 300,000 shillings, right? Which is about $150 a month, right? The lady where I'm living it doesn't have any fucking running water, right? Doesn't have a toilet, doesn't have a shower, doesn't have like it has like a community water pool that's like fucking poisoned, right? All that kind of stuff. She's charging me 700,000. Okay. On top of that, she's charging me fucking 300,000 for food, and then she's constantly harassing me about you should pay more money for food. You understand? Like I told you guys, the average is like fucking 300,000 here. So this lady gets $1 million out of me, right? She gets $1 million out of me, a million shillings out of me, and she's still fucking on my ass. And then she's not even supposed to be doing this shit. It's fucking crazy. Of course, I shouldn't say that on but anyway, you guys know what I'm saying. You know, you're not supposed to. I mean, that's like a universal thing. You're not supposed to like rent something when you're renting. But anyway, like that's the nature of this country though, where it's like everybody's just kind of mercenary on top of like they get your trust, but then they kind of like you know like they kind of like try to take advantage of your trust. But anyway, like that house was good, and here's the thing. Like I said, you can rent a place here for like 200,000 shillings a month. The only thing is that you have to rent it for like 6 months. So because I don't have 6 months left, I'm not really trying to do that. But like yeah, you can just get a place, fix it up. You could technically flip that and do your Airbnb or whatever, but you don't have to. My whole thing is that you could just do that for yourself, get a nice looking place, and whatever. And just like I said with regards to the community center, we could do that too. So we're gonna go into a little more information about the community center in a little bit. Let's go to it. I said, look, I'm gonna try to do 10 lectures. 10 lectures. They're gonna be so like in Brooklyn. There's this Nation of Islam bookstore where they blast Farrakhan to a speaker into the streets. I think I should write and record 10 lectures in Swahili and sell and blast them from a store I own. Right. So obviously a store I rent. Right. Tanzania. So this is another thing I want to say. Tanzania is an invitation to start over. The question is, what about all those great African American books? Should they be translated into Swahili and sold in Tanzania? I don't think so. Many of the African American literature, love it or hate it, results in nasheediates and endless disputes and debates. We have an opportunity to create an African consciousness independent of white dependence rather than one steeped in it. Direct translations of the current consciousness would be an L for Africa, just like it has been an L for America. It's a little mean, but it's true. You know? Like here's the thing I want to say. Like I told you guys, it's like five. We'll talk about it later, in fact. Well, let me just read it right now. I said, look, most homes in Dar es Salaam, a city of 5 million, do not have running water from the city. The people make do with either buckets or water tanks. This is interesting when we think of how largely political Flint, Michigan was with 100,000 people. So Flint, Michigan has 100,000 people. And they're just like, yo, what can we do? And I'm not going to hold you guys. Me, I was like, shit, I would leave. Like, even me with my fucking African consciousness is like, I would leave the country I would leave my city. I would leave my fucking home if I couldn't have running water. And yet here, people have no running water, and they're just like living like nothing happens. They're flushing the toilet with buckets of water. They're like, it's just like, or they're installing water tanks into their houses. Like they find a way out of no way. Whereas even like me with African consciousness was like, I just fucking leave the city. Like there's too many fucking places to be where I could, and that's like, that's chumpish. The other one that's chumpish is when people are like, hey, I've been drinking the fucking poisonous water. I've been drinking the water full of lead and my kids are now poisoned and my kids are dying. Like, that's fucking stupid. But that's a thing here. So, I just wanna point out that like Bro, it's called social research. These women will not open up. Like people are afraid of like assassination. They will not open up to you unless you give them an orgasm or two. You know what I mean? Like that's just like real life though. You know what I mean? If you want a woman to open up to you, give her an orgasm. Like that's real life. All right. So look, I'm going back to my 10-day calendar and I'll likely adopt the 10 lectures from it. So today is technically Juma Saba or a day of skirmishes. Skirmishes are related to my earlier reflection on sparring with the misogynist. All right, so I say WhatsApp statuses is the form of communication here in Tanzania, but they are limited to 30-second videos. In line with technology, I'll conform to that limit. Twitter is 2 minutes and 20 seconds, and YouTube Shorts is 15 seconds. When we get a platform, we can do that timing. We can do our own timing. Um, so I'll show you guys a WhatsApp status I have. And sometimes I like infuse consciousness in my WhatsApp status because these women be looking at my WhatsApp status. Partly because, look here, I sometimes like what you could do is you could make an exclusive list on your WhatsApp statuses. So like only a handful of people can see it. And you could just make it be only the ladies you're trying to court and then just appear half naked. And then women will write you like, oh, hey, hi, how are you doing? You know? Uh, because yeah. I should show you guys. Oh yeah, so the woman I showed you just now, I'm not gonna like mess with her, but like other women I do or did. Anyway, let's see if I can show you guys
Okay,
this. So this
so
is a clip
every
of.
day is a new day for self-development. So today, what I want you to do is consider the word skirmishes, right? That is practicing for the battlefield, right? I want you to think about what challenges you have in your life and then try to set up a way to practice how you're going to overcome your, any adversity. All right. Thanks.
I already showed that shit. Well, not shit, but I already showed that one. But yeah, you get what I'm saying though. It's um, like you can just give people like everybody's looking at your WhatsApp status, right? You can just give people the consciousness a little bit at a time. Just make it related to self development. The one I did, I don't know if it was today or yesterday. Yeah, the one I did yesterday, which was like day of production. Like one of these sisters was like, "Wow, this is so helpful," and blah blah blah, which is good, which is good. Although, like I said, I'm trying not to mess with that system no more. Right? Look, I said, look, I'm thinking about circuit training. So circuit training is when you have like 20 and you let people go from one machine to another at certain intervals, right? So I'm thinking about doing that for the community center, where it's like 20 machines, minute on each machine, then 40 minutes of a lecture, followed by another 20-minute circuit and 40 minutes lecture, then up to 30 minutes of fraternity, $5 to get in. Obviously, a tiny income though, at most $100 a class. Now, obviously it's not going to be. I realize that you also want to do like a 15-second transition, a 15-second break between machines, but like, and obviously you don't have to have a machine on everything because sometimes just jumping up and down is a really good exercise. Sometimes yeah, and obviously dumbbells are a really good exercise, but basically it's a really cheap, affordable way to get people physically active. Like have a small room, get people physically active, and then you could play a lecture in the background, um, like after the workout, and then like yeah, that's pretty much it. So um, yeah, that's pretty much like the extent of my idea in terms of the money making part. I think I should also have a separate room for people to meet. Um, Buana says perfect business for Tanzania is internet access providing. You need to take over that market. Yeah, Buana, but the thing is that you have to remember what you can afford. Like if you can, like you don't have, like I mean, I don't know your pockets, Buana, but I'll say from my pockets, I don't have like $1 million fucking. You know what I mean? I don't. Like if I had $1 million, sure, I could be like, I'm gonna, buy a satellite, or buy some sort of access to these internet cables. But like if you don't have that, then like yeah, like because it would be a better, like I would love that fucking business. But it's like if you don't have the capital, it's like you can't do it. Like you just can't do it. And that's one of the things that I like about His brother was like, "Yo, Peter Obi wants to forge general." I'm like, "Look, man, what I want is water, electricity, and internet. That's all I want to fucking hear from a politician. Like, if you're not talking about water, electricity, and internet, but you're telling me about digital revolution and end of corruption, like, I don't want to hear that shit at this point, because that's not even like make my life better. That's what I don't know if it was Amilcar Cabral or it was Thomas Sankara. I feel like it was Cabral. But he was like, people don't care about the good ideas in your head. They care about making their lives better for themselves and for their children. And electricity and water and internet are those things. You provide the fucking infrastructure. But yeah, I agree with you, bro. If you have the money, you can go for it. But like, I don't have that kind of money, so I can't even I'm not even going to like pretend that I have that kind of money. You know, like I'm not even gonna pretend. Like that's the thing that we do as African people is that we kind of like we're like, yo, man, if we had a nuclear, like, no, you don't have the money for a nuclear reactor. You don't have $650 million. Sure, you could say the government has $650 million, but if your people do not have water, like you don't have it. Like your people do not have running water. You do not have the nuclear. Of course, the nuclear reactor could provide the energy, though, so I'm not really against that per se. But it reminds me of like sometimes like we in the West, we look at these statues and we're like, damn, that's a good looking statue. But the people there are like, you spent $350 million on a statue. Forecast says he's working on something similar to that. Forecast got money. He's letting you know. Anyway, so look, I said I flirted with a woman on a bus in Tanzania and boasted about it. The woman in question is begging me to call her, whereas a woman in America called me a sexual harasser and a man in America called me a sex tourist. That's pretty much all you need to understand about America. It's like a bunch of name calling. Like these women are really looking for you to give them the good D, and of course, maybe financially compensate them for it, right? That said, uh, like, why are you calling me names? Why are you accusing me of crimes? Like, these women want me, right? And I mean, I don't really want to pay women. That's fucking stupid. But like I said, I'm surrounded by fucking betas who do that shit. So it is what it is. Like when in Rome. But all the same, like if you can be the fucking man that they want, what's the problem? You know? Calling you guys names for like living their fucking best lives, right? Hashtag passport bombs. All right, so look, I said I went between I need to learn Medu Neter to I need to learn Swahili to I need to learn both to learning neither. I'd say start from scratch on a learning app or two, listen to YouTube videos, and read Swahili textbooks now. Be diligent. Swahili is our Pan African language. Now, here's what I'm saying this. If you don't plan on being in a country that speaks Swahili, then you don't really have to learn it. I mean, if you want to read my books in the future, sure. If you want to, but I might also write in English because I'm a fucking good English writer anyway, right? Um, that said, learn a fucking language now. Like, really, seriously, choose a fucking country and learn the language right now. And because English is not going to be enough if you're going on the village level. That's one. And two, because procrastinating and learn the language now. You know, um, like I don't want to recommend a white person's app, but let's just do it. Duolingo has Zulu and it has Swahili. Okay, so just learn it. Just go through the course. Get up a textbook. Swahili, Zulu, Twi. Just open up your book. Don't stop debating. Stop arguing. Stop conversing. Just do it. That's it. Real Black Gentleman says, I stand with Oni. I feel you, bro. Asante Sana. Forecast says, LOL, not that kind of money to give them internet, but a way to communicate and exchange. Nah, bro, you already told on yourself, man. You rich. We hear you. Get your passport, bro. We want to be passport bros. Anyway, let me go on. Let me say 75 times 20 is 1,500. 1,500 divided by 60 is 25. So basically, I said, like, if you added 15 seconds to the minute circuits, you can do like a 25-minute workout, 35-minute lecture, another 25-minute workout, and a 35-minute conversation driven by a 5-minute summary. So basically, that means that for the book, I would write a lecture that's about 35 minutes, and then write another summary of the lecture that's 5 minutes. And it really some my son. Every book has terrible grammar. Has terrible grammar. Okay, and it's like these are like English studies books, like English. This is their English exam, right? And it's just terrible grammar. Or it's their history book, their history workbook, and it's just terrible grammar. Like it's just fucking stupid. So yeah, yeah. I mean, me writing this long ass book is like just don't like it didn't make any sense in America. It makes even less sense in Tanzania. So I'm gonna like probably just do a short book, lectures and all that kind of stuff. Uh, anyway, hold on a second. I gotta look around for motherfuckers. By the way, there are actually people with like shotguns just like sitting around, like in front of banks. It's just different. Um, like sitting around all day in front of a bank with a shotgun. All right. So I said the bus is the best means of transportation in Tanzania. Some of you guys, you could just talk to women. I said I met an agriculturalist and I can send her a PDF for agribusiness in Africa. Turns out I can't find the PDF, but I'm looking to buy the book for her. Either way, though, like, yeah, this woman, she was sitting on the bus with me. And at first I was just kind of like macking, you know how I do. But then she was like a businesswoman, like recognized and all that kind of jazz. Um, anyway, so I say, take my philandering, for example. These women see me as an opportunity, not just as a good lay, but as a man of means. So these women admit to closing Tanzanian men off. That's a problem for Tanzanian men, but it's good for me. That's why the West wins over black people. They see all their opportunities with the West. Okay? The Chinese see the Chinese opportunity. The Russians see the Russians, but the Africans see the Chinese, Russians, and Americans as opportunities. So the winners will win. I'm kind of upset I got to run to a white nation where I'm second caste. First caste is nice, you know. So like here, I'm like first caste, right? But over there, I'm like second caste. You know what I mean? Because it's like even if you have a lot of money as a black person in America, you don't have a lot of money. You know what I mean? Like even Jay-Z doesn't have a lot of money. You get what I'm saying? Like if I were a gold digging black woman or white woman, right? Like no homo, but you'd go for a white man, right? You know how I changed up the grammar, but anyway, like yeah, you go for a white man. You go for one of these um what was it? Janet Jackson like marries some billionaire, you know, or Serena Williams. People are like, oh, she's worth more than the white guy she's with. Yeah, but how many black guys are worth as much as the founder of Reddit? You know, like you're even if you were rich, like because like it's like this just be real, right? Even if I could give Serena Williams a good D, this white boy has like 20 like he has more millions than me. You know what I'm saying? So like he could seriously be a contender for installing internet in this country. I can't. You know what I'm saying? And I admit that. But here in this country, like I said, like you know, if you can walk around with a year's income in your pocket or whatever, right? That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Like women want to be around you because they can then hit you up when they like, and they will hit you up when they're, oh, you know, I think I need some money. You're like, ah, whatever, get the fucking shit, you know. I mean, like obviously it's beta shit, but um, you know, it is what it is. Like, and I mean, they do that in America too. Well, the thing is that when they ask you for money in America, it's a lot more money, you know. And of course, in America, you don't even listen to it because you don't have that kind of money. I mean, unless you do have that kind of money, but I don't. So, you know, in America, when we'd be like, hey, my rent is, you know, you're like, yeah, I'm not fucking paying your rent. Like, I barely can pay mine. What the fuck are you talking about? Anyway, let's go on. I think local market rates is probably the most fundamental concept that black people around the globe do not understand. Even I'm guilty of selling a book to black people at a much higher rate than black book allowances are going for. I want to say this though, okay? So we're going to talk about this. Oh, actually, there's only two more things. So we're going to go into that a little later. Oh, yeah. So the average height for men in Tanzania is 5'5". Can you imagine that? Like they're fucking tiny. In fact, this one guy said, I said, fam, this dude said he's 5'10" and on the basketball team. I came to the right country. I can actually be an athlete here. Can you imagine that? I can be an the financial acuity, I want to say, over here, because oh yeah, so like one of these women, so like I'm talking to this woman, right? Okay, I just messed up the whole story, but all right, let's just say it's a different woman. Well, yeah, whatever, right? I'm talking to this woman, and I'm trying to like say, look, I'm not gonna like I don't want to sleep with you anymore because first off, like the woman I met the other day, she was just so fucking good in the bedroom that like you already because I already know this woman already told me the woman that I'm trying to talk to the woman I'm not trying to talk to already told me I don't think I'm gonna be a good match for you sexually, and it's like you told me that, okay, fine, you know what, I'm gonna believe you because I'm not gonna like the first time somebody tells you who they are, believe them the first time. When somebody tells you who they are, believe them the first time, right? This woman's probably not gonna be a good lay for me, okay. That said, she's really cute, she's really pretty, but I don't want to do it, right? But then I'm just like, okay, I'd give her a bunch of reasons why I don't want to. She decides, she's like, oh, but you know, I'm still curious and all that kind of stuff. So you're like, you know, it's like that, boys. So then I'm like, look, I'll be straight with you. I'm just the guy who gives women orgasms, okay, and maybe some money. All right. And so you thinking you know, because that's how you flirt. That's how you're supposed to flirt. You're supposed to talk about sex. Okay, guys, talk about sex. Um, so I'm like, I just give women orgasms and maybe some money, right? And she's like, okay, fine. Um, let's do that. And I was like, shit, boys. Um, shit. Uh, and this is a different woman. You guys don't know her, but still, shit, right? So I'm like, um, yeah. So I'm like, okay. Uh, how much then, right? How much are you going to charge, right? Now, I'll tell you guys again, like a prostitute is like 50,000, okay? A high class, now if you have a girlfriend, she's like 100,000, okay? Which is stupid. Like, the prostitutes are cheaper than the girlfriend, right? Anyway, if it's a high class escort, because I didn't know this. Like, again, like I was on Tinder, I met some woman, and it turns out like it was like a British number or some shit. And so I was like, oh, cool, a British number. And then she goes, oh, welcome to an escort service. And I'm like, what? And then like I asked about prices and shit. I didn't do it because like I wasn't really interested in the women she showed, except for one who was just like a little bit too much. But here's what I'm saying. Now, this woman who I was interested in was like bomb. Like, ooh, boys. Oh my god. Um, actually, I think I might have able to show her video. But anyway, she was 150,000 for one round. They say one round basically meaning like you have an orgasm. That's one round. So I said, how much for 2 rounds? They said 250,000. Right? Okay. So I'm talking to this woman, right? And like I said, I'm trying to help with her business or something like that, right? Um, and like again, like I said, you guys don't know this lady, but still, right? I ask her what's her price because she doesn't know about monetary compensation from dudes. So I say, what's your price? Guess what this lady says? 3.5 million shillings. Boys, that's like 1,000. That's like $1,500. Who the fuck? Now, of course, she thought it was like over the course of like, you know, but still, like, why? Who in their right mind would spend 1,500 fucking dollars on one pussy? Like, unless your pussy is made out of gold, right? And I get to keep said gold. I'm not gonna spend 1,500 fucking dollars on, you know what I mean? Like, cause even the high class escort, right? I'm just like, no, I'm not gonna spend, you know, like unless I'm down bad, I'm not gonna spend, you know, 100 something dollars on pom pom, right? Because again, you can get away with $25, right? If you want to. And again, like I said, I wouldn't really pay for pom pom. I'm like saying way too much, right? Again, it's just that this country is different. Like, because again, like I'm telling you guys again, the infrastructure is such that if you do not put money in, it's like you're a dick because the women spend like 50, like $25 to come see you. You get what I'm saying? So they spend $25 to see you. The least you could do is give them $25. You get what I'm saying? Because, you know, like, 'cause if you don't give them 25, or like the least $100 in the month, and they're spending $25 to see you, and you don't even compensate them for it, then you're just like a dick for doing that. You know what I'm saying? Because again, they spent like a sixth of their month, like they spent like a week's income to see you, right? And and you just kind of like said, okay, get out of my fucking house. You know what I mean? So again, like I don't think you should pay a woman, but you know, I like completely understand the whole idea of paying a person if they're spending 50,000 to see you. You know, some dude just randomly came beside me and started peeing, which is the fucking randomest thing on the planet. Anyway, that's pretty much all my notes, I think, for the week. So, like I said, I think I could do the community center idea, and just like get motherfucking backbones, get people thinking about geopolitics and like better business practices, and I'm gonna try to start, like, I guess when I'm in America, I'm probably gonna start writing on this, or I'm gonna try to find some housing, and then be able to sit down and like start writing. But another thing is that, like, seriously, I'm going to try to do it in Swahili. Okay, I'm going to try to write a book in Swahili. Um, like that's a very important thing to try. Um, because, and I'm also going to try to like dumb it down. I like, again, you have to go by the market. The market is not even about self-help, self-development type stuff, but like, you don't want to be on the market, but you have to like acknowledge the market and what you're doing. You know, I'm pretty scholarly. Obviously, this podcast hasn't been the most scholarly thing you've ever heard. I mean, it probably was, but you probably also just heard a lot of me talking about women, and thought, hey, um, hey, you sound like a pervert, dude. And it's like, no, dude, I sound like I'm living my life and not just sitting up in a fucking classroom. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sounding like I'm just fucking, like, again, you try before you buy, you know? You have to learn about the two, and not just that. Like, you can't just like again, like, there's people date in different ways. Like I said, all right, so I'll tell you guys this. I have like one white associate, okay? Like one white person I know and speak to. It just so happens that after my marriage, I went on like Reddit and was on the seduction forum, trying to learn how to seduce women type stuff. So that's where I got the skill from, right? I tried to learn how to seduce women, and while I was giving out some advice, one white boy wrote me and was like, "Hey, can you tell me some advice on this?" And then basically I just started, like, over the years, just started giving this guy advice on how to get women. And he's constantly been like a failure beta male. I shouldn't say that because he might listen, but you guys get what I'm saying. But he's a nice little kid, I guess. But anyway, so yeah, like his whole thing is like he just met some like he went to another European country and he just met some Asian woman, I guess. And he goes on one date, it's really good, and then he cancels his date on with the other woman. So he got two matches online, and he was supposed to go like see both of them, but he said no, because I started talking to this one woman, I'm not going to talk to the other. Say is this, women, oh yeah, people have like you can take at the store. So you can go to the pharmacist, and they have like a basic test that you can take. And it's kind of the same as the test that they give you in American stores or whatever. But anyway, so that's all I can say about that. Pretty much. Oh yeah. So yeah, Real by Gentleman said he's marking his territory. Um, but yeah, I don't know. But anyway, but what I would say is this: that yeah, you might like having sex with multiple women is kind of a big thing. Although I kind of like slow down on some of these women. The only thing is that they like coming back because, one, like if I give them a week's income for coming to see me, like they like that part, and the two, they love the D. You know what I mean? So it's just like a win-win for them. Um, but other than that, and the thing is, this, like, don't even like again, women love D. You know, like, so like I said, there's a stereotype in America where women are like, oh man, this broke guy has like broke guys have the best dicks. You know what I mean? And they love the broke guy for his good dick, but he can't do anything else. The difference here is that I can do both. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's like ding, 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 ding. You know. Um. Anyway, so uh, that's because I anyway. But anyway, so that said, yeah. I don't know what I was talking about. But anyway, that's it, fam. That's pretty much the whole fucking podcast. That's just the highlight. I think I'm gonna have to do a bigger podcast when I get back to America. I could say this though. There was this one woman I was sitting next to. Oh yeah, one thing I wanted to add was that people look older here. Okay, they don't have that young look that you expect from African people. Uh, they look older here. But I was sitting next to this woman. She was like 22. The lady looked like she was my height while she was sitting down. Okay, I'm telling you, she had booty. Okay, now I did try to take a video because I knew Buana would want to know, but it didn't look too good on the video. But I'm pretty sure like it'd be phenomenal elsewhere. My only issue with these women is one, it's really hard to um like there's only so many days in a week, you know, so you have to like line them up one after the other. But two, they So like I was supposed to meet that Muslim woman today. No, actually no. I was supposed to meet some other woman, and she just fucking like fucked up my whole fucking weekend, boys. My whole Sunday, and it's just like it's the same woman that I told you guys, the first woman that I messed with. You know, she just kind of like she kind of flakes sometimes, or like we just like again, I'm new to the city, so I don't know the good places to go. So that also helps. That also hurts me. But like she kind of just like flakes on me or whatever, and then like I'm left, holding my nuts. You know what I mean? Um, so like that's what happened. Like I tried to make some plans with the Muslim lady, then that thing fell through because like people are not on the internet 24/7 here. So that happens. All right. Anyway, so I'm just kind of rambling. I see that it's like everybody left. Anyway, fam, I guess real black gentleman, right? Real black gentleman. Oh no, he left. Damn it. All right, no, I'm just messing. But anyway, but like, yeah, I appreciate fam for coming through. Sure. Am I womanizing? Absolutely. No, not really woman. I mean, look, like again, like people, you got to realize that there's just different methods. You might say it's sloppy. That sucks to be you, but like stop being so judgmental. You're in America. Stop being judgmental. Do something. You know what I mean? Like don't even worry about what another person's doing with their dick. Like, you know what I mean? Like this is just black women that want good D and money, and it's not real money for me. You know? I mean, it is looking like my bank is like getting hurt, but a lot of people owe me money, so it is what it is. When I get back to America, I'll just try to collect my debt. You know what I'm saying? like I've been generous all my fucking life. You know what I mean? So it is. But other than that, Shemiam Hotep, Uncle Jah Neb, Amen, Ma'at, Dua, Nature.